All right, we're at the Little O, 32nd Street trailhead, and I'm on a Segway Xaber 300.
0.03 miles. Your current speed is 0 miles per hour.
Ooh, pretty sandy in here. Has been very dry, so this sand is loose. Alright, after the first section, I should probably check the map to see if I'm even going the right way here. So, I'm going to turn around. This is part of the Big O Trail, but it looks like it wasn't the section I was aiming for. This trail system is huge. I think it's 128 miles or something like that. Doing unbelievably well on the sand here. So I switched out to a IRC VR33. It's a 17-inch tire. I don't remember. I think it's a it's a 100/117. So a bit larger than the stock tire, but it fits. They're about 80 bucks delivered. Alright, I'm going to take a right here. And this trail wants you to have a street legal bike because of all these road crossings. And this is a fully street legal Segway Xaber 300. It was fairly easy to modify it. You know, brake light, license plate light, turn signals, mirrors. Switch the MCO for a title at Secretary of State. So I have a clean green title on this thing and not a piece of print off MCO paperwork. Yeah, this is more hard pack over here. So this is a electric motorcycle. I call it the Emoto. And I don't know the equivalent, what it turns into in CCs and like a 2-stroke, but I've been out with 254 strokes and it's definitely quicker. The amount of torque is intense. So if I get behind at any point because I'm being too cautious, I can just burp the throttle and I'm caught back up. So I currently have it in 300 mode. I disabled 200 mode. Probably should turn it back on. I just wanted less modes to toggle through. And, you can make custom modes. That's why I disabled 200. I made a custom one, which I actually haven't tried yet today. Adjust your throttle curves and all that. Got a nitrous mode, NOS, if you want to stand the thing straight up. So that works by twisting the throttle back fast, and it will lift the front right off the ground. They have wheelie mode coming. That's going to be in a future update. These things currently go 60 miles an hour, which is plenty fast. This is the Big O East Loop. We're in Baldwin, Michigan, I believe. Say the trail system is so long that kind of pick the section you want to go out and do for the day. There wasn't too many YouTube videos on this trail, nothing recent. I figured I would come give it a try. I really like it. This is nice. Your left lever is your rear brake, right lever is the front brake, and there's no foot pedal like a normal motorcycle would have a foot brake. This does have a clutch, but it's a button, and it has engine braking as well, and it will stop this thing very fast if you need to. I was coming straight at a tree the other day, probably only 10 feet away from 20 miles an hour or whatnot, and I did not hit a tree. I stopped in front of it. So no complaints there. Suspension is so smooth. Big whoops right here. As you notice, it's very quiet. I'm not a mechanic. You know, a two-stroke bikes, those guys are working on those things all the time. There's always something going wrong with them, and I'm just not inclined to know how to fix everything that can go wrong. So the amount of maintenance on this, you change the gear oil once a year or whatnot, charge the battery up, that's about that. So the battery is like a car battery. It seems lighter than a car battery. It's about the same size, and it pops right out. So you could, you know, do the whole 100 miles of trail if you had somebody in a side-by-side or RV at checkpoints getting you fresh batteries. I'll probably get, you know, 40 miles out of this charge at the pace I'm going, and then say it would take 2 minutes to change the battery out if I wanted to. Lift the seat up, pop a clamp, flips right out of there. So I'm filming this on a DJI, what do they call these things? It's a 4. So it's kind of outdated. I'll be swiping up a new one. They'll come out with a 7 here October, November, and I'll grab that one. I'll grab a buddy to do some follow cam for me. Got another road crossing. It's quiet out here. Haven't seen anybody yet. So this isn't very far from the resort destinations of like Pentwater, Ludington. It's pretty easy to get to. There's several staging parking lots. Got bumped my camera here. There we go. The parking lots are paved. They have restrooms, vault toilets they call them. Some of these trails are wide enough to get a side-by-side on. Four-wheeler, I should say, not a side-by-side. So anything under 50 inches, but this is a motorcycle trail here. Some of the other parts of the Big O have ATV access. Miles on a trail, that's a lot of riding. I'll be fairly tired after that and ready for a drink and some food, so can't complain about the battery life. Now, this bike weighs 187 pounds. It's very manageable, so I can flat foot on this. You know, and any other bike I was looking at, I couldn't touch the ground on. So, you know, if you get squirrely, you want to be able to reach off and level yourself up. So that is an added benefit. It still has over 10 inches of ground clearance. So I haven't bottomed out yet. Trails are wide enough where nothing's knocked my mirrors off. I do have it so I can remove them just with a single Allen wrench, which is under my seat. This does have a toolkit under the seat. And I added my own Allen wrench for the mirrors, but I haven't had to take them off. The grand total to turn this thing street legal is probably only 40 bucks. I jumped on AliExpress and swiped everything up, turn signal bracket, turn signals, mirrors. The license plate bracket has a license plate light on it. So I didn't mess with the stock wiring at all. I ran everything off of an RC car battery hidden up in the neck. I have an on-off switch that's fully accessible. So when I turn that on, it turns on my tail light, and then I've added brake switches. They were $1 a piece. So when I pull my brake in, the brake light turns on, and I would get a week of riding out of the battery before I need to recharge that. It's just a little LiPo RC battery. Now this bike is 72 volts, and I didn't want to mess with the stock wiring for warranty reasons and whatnot. So even for the brake switches, I just ran new ones. Ooh, deep sand right here. So I decided to go with the Segway just because they're so well known. You grab one of these crazy named items off the internet, might be no warranty support in 6 months or tomorrow. Segway's been around forever. They make a very reliable product, and there's actually authorized service centers, several of them near my house. So if anything were to go wrong, and then on the app you can check the status of your service and schedule service and all of that. Ooh, choose your own adventure right here. Alright, looking for the next leg of the trail here. Don't actually see it yet. Look on my GPS. I'm running a... Okay, so it says I need to actually take this dirt road as part of the trail. Woohoo! Okay, this thing rips. trail sign. And it's going to be around here somewhere.
Miles. Your current speed is 17.7 miles per hour.
Says it's in the woods next to I don't know what that is. I don't see it over there. Guess it's better than nothing, but this thing doesn't work that well, that Onyx off-road. I got it on sale. Can't complain. If I turn right or left, let's see. Yeah. Adjusting my mirrors. Alright, looks like we're almost back into the trails. Trail again. So when I made it street legal, I switched the tires out to DOT tires. During the inspection, they didn't even check. So that was exciting. But so I've changed the back tire out already, and the front one, I don't know, it's alright. I might keep it, or I might switch over to that Dunlop NX53. It's about 60 bucks. It looks like it has a nice tread pattern on it. I highly doubt if I get pulled over, they're going to check the tire if they didn't check it at my inspection to turn the thing street legal. I just bought one of those little tire changing stations off Amazon for 40 bucks. And it works okay, but I probably could have built something just as easy. Tubes that come in their stock, they're pretty thin. I switched out to heavy duty tubes, 3 mil. So in the IRC tire, I went to IRC heavy duty tube. Beautiful trail. If anything were to go wrong, flat tire or whatnot, there's all these crossroads where you could get back to town. Luckily, this thing is light enough you could throw it in the back of a passerby's truck and have him take you back. I put recovery straps on it, haven't needed them yet. If I were to slide off trail, give me somewhere to pull from. There's a lot of trail to maintain. These guys are doing pretty good keeping it. Logs going across it. have a ton of motorcycle experience, so I come from the mountain biking world, and very easy to transfer over other than your brakes are different. You know, on a mountain bike, your left brake is your front. On this, your left brake is your rear, just like a motorcycle. When you get to the big whoops, you just stand up. It's like a jockey on a horse, and let the motorcycle do everything and your body stays level. I did another section of the Big O a couple days ago, and tons of whoops over there. My legs from standing up for an hour and a half. Pretty tired, which is good. It's good exercise. Now the price point on these is amazing. $52.99. I was looking at the Husqvarna TE300 Pro before this, and it's 14-15 grand. But once again, I didn't want to work on dirt bikes all day long, and I'm on their Facebook page, and nothing but problems. Everyone can't get them to start, can't get them to run. Just don't know how to deal with that stuff. I couldn't touch the ground. The seat height was like 34 inches. So this is closer to 30 from memory. I have had to reach off to touch the ground several times to get some loose sand. You can't touch ground. Makes it a bit more sketchy. Haul this on an RV on the front bumper, and regardless of what time I'm coming in or coming out of the campground, I'm not making any noise. And a lot of these things have quiet hours, and everyone else has to wait. Before they can fire them up. I've got carpal tunnel. This thing has zero vibration, so it doesn't mess with me like all the vibration in a two-stroke would. And you're 60 pounds lighter at least on this, for what seems to be about the same amount of torque and capability. Even though this is electric, it is waterproof. I think it's a IP5, IP5X, something like that. I just wash it with a garden hose. I don't know if you can power wash it or not, but with a garden hose and a rag, I clean her up as needed. If there was water crossings, I would feel comfortable going across. I know the battery is like an IP7. which is very good. And the charger, I don't believe, is waterproof, so you know, at the campground, cover it with something when you're charging at night, or you don't want that thing to get soaking wet. They haven't announced pricing on spare batteries yet, but going by the other product lines they offer, the batteries are affordable for what you're getting. This uses those Panasonic 50S cells. I don't know how many of them are in there, but there's got to be hundreds inside something that looks like a car battery. Lightweight, tons of power. This has reverse on it. I've used it daily. Every time I ride I use reverse, so I came up to a down tree a couple days ago and there was a way around it 50 feet behind me, so just put it in reverse and you hold the reverse button in, twist the throttle back. As long as you have the reverse button in, it'll keep going backwards. Once you let off, it'll go forward. Way more handy than I ever thought it would be. To get it off, I have a cargo carrier. To get it on and off the cargo carrier, you know, you can feather the throttle slow enough to get it up there, and I use reverse to get it down. Never been to this trail before, so taking it kind of slow. Never know what's ahead here. Prior to this, I was going down back roads. Around the house, any random little trails I could find, but coming to some real trails, this is fun. Plenty of battery left. Most of those big trail rides, they have a truck that follows you, around town in some manner that would have spare parts, this and that, but you could throw a few batteries in there, and every time they stop for lunch, do a battery swap. new. They only came out, they said May 15th, but about June people started getting them. Took me longer than expected to get my hands on one. They were getting released fairly slow. You know, guys in California got them first because that's where they came into port at. I'm glad I finally got one. I was waiting a little while. It was worth the wait too. The app is awesome. So it'll show you based on your riding style how many miles left until your battery's empty. Keeps track of all your rides for you. Plenty of settings, more software than you would ever need. So you can turn on and off traction control, turn off brake switches, turn off modes. Man, it's probably got 25 different things in there you can fiddle with. It's technologically advanced. It tells you when your battery's charged, so you don't have to keep going and look at the charger. Your phone will just ding and let you know it's ready. I like this trail so much, I'll probably do a video series in the fall when I get that new camera and get someone to follow me, and we'll do the entire Big O Trail, which will be multiple sessions to do so. Okay, where does the trail go now? Over here maybe. The problem with this Onyx is it doesn't keep going where you are. Pull off and look here. You know, it seems like you would be in the center of the screen at all times. I don't know why. Yeah, look, I'm way over here. So, here it looks like it's going on normal roads again. A lot of normal roads over here. I'm going to turn around and go do a different section of the trail. I'm about 5'10". This fits me pretty well. I don't feel like I'm on some subcompact, miniature bike. It actually feels very proportionate. All kitted up, I'm probably 200 pounds. Has no problem dragging me around. I'm wearing full motocross gear. Map again. These gloves say they're touch sensitive. I don't know about that. This bike has security features, so it knows where you're at. I don't know if it's using satellites or what, but so if someone were to attempt to steal it, you always know where it is. Also, the battery is bound to the bike, so if someone were to steal it, just try to take the battery, they can't use the battery either. Very nice security features on there. So it uses like Google, kind of like the Apple Find Me, but the Google version. So I can always see the location of the bike at all times. And it uses a secondary battery, not the main battery. So if someone were to pull the main battery out, I believe it's even still going to keep tracking after that. In the app, I can see where it talks about a main battery and then a secondary battery. And then a little secret side note, there are some new air tags out that don't alert someone when they steal something that an air tag is tracking them. You can look those up. It's called the silent air tag. I'm not going to give its actual name because I don't want these things to disappear off the market, but it'd be a good idea to hide an additional one in there so you have multiple ways. Say this thing, it could be picked up and thrown in a trunk of a car. It's 187 pounds, 5.5 feet long. So you just always want to know where it's at. And also, if you were to get hurt, that gives people a way to find you. Silent air tags, they're cheap. I think I picked up a 5-pack for like 12 or 13 bucks a piece. And they have a different app, but you could tell your loved ones exactly how to find you if need be. You can also, so I have them inside my generator, and anything of value that I have that someone might try to walk away with. So on my e-bike, I told you I came from the e-bike world. I have them hidden on there as well. Then my scooters for getting around town. I've got some Segway Max G3. I know they just came out with the G3 Plus, gives you an extra few hundred watts, plus a larger battery. For the money, those things are amazing. You know, to get around town after you pull into a campsite, the range is huge. They only weigh 40-some pounds, and that gets me into town so I can eat and all that. And I only have to pull this off my bumper to get around. So there's tons of campgrounds around this area if anyone wants to do this trail. So under an hour from here, on Lake Michigan, in Pentwater, there's Mears State Park. That's a very good one. Hill and Hollow in Pentwater is very nice. The first one, Mears State Park, is actually on Lake Michigan. And town is only 3/4 of a mile away, half a mile away. And it's a quiet ride out to the trails here. You know, you don't see any cars. This bike is so fun. Absolutely love it. Funny thing on my mountain bike, the e-bike, you know, it's a Specialized, and it costs more than this, and I can only get 20 miles out of that thing. Mountain bikes are just crazy overpriced for what you get. But even with me pedaling as hard as I can, I'm getting 20, 23 miles out of it. Weird on a mountain bike when you're jumping, your feet are offset. You like to drift one way or another. On this, you know, on the pegs, everything's lined up straight and square. A lot better feeling. The suspension on here, oh my god, it's night and day compared to a mountain bike, obviously. Found some very good boots. They're the Garnet Aquatech G Dunes. That's what I have on right now. Lightweight, waterproof. I feel like they protect my feet very well. And they're like $200, so not bad. I couldn't find anything from like AliExpress or Amazon with any form of quality, so I had to go with the name brand. So yeah, this has a 19-inch front tire, so on my cargo carrier I had to for the front wheel shock, I had to make it smaller than a standard 21-inch tire would fit into, which wasn't bad. I made a video about that. You can check it out. guess Sur-On, for the last 6 years or so, was designed by Segway. I don't know what kind of, why they're currently going under their own brand name. So, whatever agreement they had must allow them to use everything they learned to put them under their own branding now. I tell you, this thing is refined. So it's not like they're brand new in the market. They've been doing this for 6 years, making Sur-Ons. Deep sand right here. Woo! So being fully street legal, I actually have registration and insurance, just like a normal car or motorcycle would have. And you're gonna laugh how much the insurance policy was for this thing. Everyone was thinking it was gonna be in the thousands, and it's under $100 a year. It's actually $70 a year. Now I've got a good driving record and multi-policy discount, but to register a side-by-side, at least $3 grand from what everyone says. So I'm just over $5 a month.